Today we are flying all the way to France to uncover a very special car that's been left in a garage forgotten for many, many years.
Wow, look at that.
But that's not all. We're going to try and get it running and drive it all the way home to England, several hundred miles.
Just two Frenchmen in France.
And if that wasn't already enough pressure, we have to be home within one day. So it's going to be a race to the border.
Really bloody tired.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's just at the end of this road.
Long before the sun was up, the adventure had begun. First stop was to collect the head of international relations and the party planning committee.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Welcome, welcome.
That's Isaac.
Bright and early.
It was very early, but conversations in the car had already become highly intellectual.
Drink if you've done anals. Yeah, you've done it with this one and this one and this one. And of course there's more than 3 blokes in all of this. And then it turns out that actually she'd slept with 27 people and told him, well, why lie about it if you're not embarrassed about it?
And after putting the world to rights, we'd made it to the airport.
We're at the airport.
We're going to France.
We're going to bloody France. Right, should we go that way?
It's like, wow.
Wow, look at all the lights. We're out the country now, boy.
We're out of the country now.
Just 2 men with moustaches. Oh, wait. 6:45 to Nantes. Go to gate 84. You ready? Yeah. I offered to fly the plane, but they said they didn't need any more help.
So far everything was going to plan, but it was early days. But we were ready to take France by storm.
Bonjour. Je m'appelle.
This guy's smoking a pipe with his son. We had arrived safely, and despite numerous offerings, the pilot did not want me to fly the plane. But this is where the real adventure begins. This was new territory. We were out of the workshop and on the road. But as soon as we left the airport, the first challenge became clear: finding the rental car depot.
Nantes. We're looking for the rental car place, and we've managed to get lost already. It's Isaac's fault.
It's like 8 car parks.
We're in the very budget rental car, so it's not actually at the airport, it's across 2 motorways.
It's cheaper because you don't have to pay for the walk.
Exactly, yeah. Good start.
We wandered across car parks for the best part of an hour, and of course refused to ask anybody for help or directions, because that would be losing.
It's not looking any more promising, is it?
But finally, we found the lost city.
We're here.
Very good park. The channel has grown a lot recently, so I was humbled to be met with a very warm welcome. But after some intense negotiation, our chariot was ready.
Okay, so after about a 25-minute walk and nobody being at the rental car place, we eventually got the car. So now we are going to embark on the 115-mile drive north from Nantes to L'Archamp to see the car. Now, I've seen pictures of the car several years ago. Since then, the car hasn't been started, and supposedly it's just been left in the garage and they assume it doesn't start. So, yeah, it should be fun. It should be fine. It should just fire up and we drive into the sunset.
You said it now.
I've said it now. So, to our champ. Lee Mans.
Où est la banque?
Où est la banque?
Où est la banque?
Où est la banque?
How much? How many?
Combien?
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 Time?
I didn't know you were going to do the voices.
Heure. Heure.
What time?
Quelle heure?
Quelle heure?
Quelle heure?
Quelle heure? À quelle heure?
À quelle heure?
I can't.
Avez-vous?
Avez-vous?
I understand.
I understand.
Je comprends.
You understand?
Au taxi?
Un taxi?
The taxi.
We're there, yeah.
Over 100 miles later, we were fully fluent in French and pretty well versed in Taylor Swift.
This one here.
But we had made it. We were warmly met by Eileen, who is the seller of the car, and she was ready to unveil the machine. So, the moment we've all been waiting for. Introducing the Wildcat.
Wow. Look at that.
What do you reckon?
It's really cool. I think this is probably one of the better things I've purchased.
But what on earth is it? This is a JPR Wildcat. About 40 years ago, these custom E-Type bodies were made in the Supershell building, which is opposite the Goodwood racetrack. About 150 standard E-Type body shells were made, and they were used for all sorts, from racing to custom jobs, anything you can imagine. The flexibility of the tube frame chassis meant much more powerful engines and high-tech suspension setups could be bolted on, meaning the applications were a lot more vast. The body is a mirror image of a Series 1, apart from one area, which is the rear end, which is significantly wider so it can house later, much more aggressive Jaguar axles. But this example is even more special. As you can see, those lines aren't standard E-Type. This is a low drag body. Usually at the top of any Jaguar enthusiast's wish list is a lightweight E-Type. Only a handful were made, and it's one of the most stunning designs in history. But the handful of original low drag cars are worth many, many millions a unit, meaning many recreations have been made over the years, and even those fetch a small fortune. But this is likely one of the very earliest homages to a low drag E-Type, being that this was created not far off when the E-Types were still in production. Supposedly Wildcat made about 5 of these low drag cars, including mine. There is 3 in the UK, and I believe there is 1 in America. But that is about all I've been able to figure out. But my lord, what an amazing machine. Okay, so we have made it to the car from Nantes, as I now know it's called. It was about a 2-hour drive, and yeah, I'm still in a little bit of shock. I hadn't seen this car properly at all. I've just seen a couple of pictures, and now it's here. We're in France, and it's real. As you can clearly see, this has been in a barn for many, many years. And even with that though, I still think it looks absolutely brilliant. It may look clean on camera, but it is completely covered in dust. But as you all know, our goal is not just to see the car, it is to drive it many hundreds of miles home.
So we need to see if this thing runs, but before we can do that, we obviously need to go over and do some checks. Check if it's got oil, check if it's got fluid in all the right places, and then we can attempt to start this thing. We've only got a few hours, so yeah, let's get into it.
Now, even if everything looked okay, this was still going to be a touch and go situation. Classic cars don't like to sit for prolonged periods of time, and anything could happen. But look at that. I bet you weren't expecting that one. That is a 2.8 litre out of a Datsun. An interesting choice for sure, and something that I had no experience with.
Plenty of oil, and it's pretty clean as well, it's quite golden. Right, fluid in the radiator. Well, we've got plenty of brake fluid, that's completely topped up. We need to think about water. Doesn't look like there's much. I can't see any water in there. Where's the overflow? Is the overflow in the back? Should we go around to the back? Look at these. I bet you they scream if it will ever run.
And now for another peculiar option. LPG.
There's the LPG.
Oh, that's not in here, is it? It's very smooth. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Right, so I just don't see an overflow.
Everything looked pretty good and the car had been dry stored, but again, there's only so much you can figure out.
Fluids look good.
so we just put. Well, we should turn it over
Yeah.
without
Yeah, we'll turn it over
to get the fluids okay. Yeah, just get the oil
Actually,
everywhere.
we need to first see if it's got any fuel. We need
Yeah.
we need to find. Okay, let's go to the fuel tank.
So LPG is something that I know nothing about, like most things, but it sort of slightly scares me. So I gave Steve a ring who has experience with LPG and he gave me the rundown.
So it's basically, it's almost fully LPG. There's a tiny fuel tank, but we basically have to rely on the LPG. Steve was saying the fuel tank helps get the car going and then it's fully LPG. So it's not like a system where you can switch between two fully loaded fuel tanks or fully loaded LPG. It's mainly LPG. Battery's dead, so we need to jump it and see what happens.
And then we need to get home on LPG.
And then we need to get home. But there's lots of LPG in France,
That's good.
apparently.
But what about UK? We have to fill up
Yeah.
before we cross.
Yeah. We should be fine though. A full tank of LPG. Yeah, it'll be alright.
So everything was looking pretty good. We topped up the water and the rest of the fluids looked pretty clean, and obviously this is a timing chain engine. So the next thing was just to give it some power and try cranking it. So here goes nothing. She was turning over, but no fire. Until we had a cough. And then more than a cough. The Wildcat was alive. And though it was slightly being drowned out by the sound of the Citroen we were using to jumpstart it, it sounded good. Don't get me wrong, it was tired, it was waking up, it had been sleeping for a long time. But it was coming back. After it warmed up a little bit, it was starting to level out, and there was no smoke or anything. Maybe there was hope of driving this hundreds of miles home. This was a huge win. I have to say the reality of this adventure sort of started to dawn on me on the journey. I was super optimistic before we left, but then the idea of going to another country and trying to get a car that hadn't ran in many years to drive us hundreds of miles home, well, it started to catch up with me. But things were looking good, it was running, but there's lots of other things we needed to check.
Yeah.
No way that they were.
Yeah. Do your indicators. Right. Yeah, right.
Right is working.
They're very dim. Left.
Excellent. So the indicators do work, but to get the left one to work, you actually have to lift the dashboard up and hold it up, otherwise it'll just turn itself off. This does seem like a good moment to say, obviously the indicators work in a way, the brake lights work, but do take a better look at the interior. It needs some love.
So indeed, whilst the exterior of the car I think looks rather stunning, the interior, well, yeah, as I said, it needs some love. But I can really imagine this in a proper racing style, low drag format, and it would look amazing. Anyway, let the function tests continue.
Fucking bastard.
Lights?
Oh, barely. Oh. Yeah. Can you stick that? All sorts happening up front here. What's that? That's lights on, lights off. They're off now. On. All the lights light up when you pull that. And that's what you want.
So they just don't stay on. It's fine, they work sometimes, which is good. It does look cool now it's been rained on, it looks like, so not what an E-Type should look like. Because it's 100% genuine E-Type. Hello, Charlie from the future here. As you can tell, I've made it back safely, but whether the car did as well, you'll have to find out. But I'm back in my field to tell you about a totally free competition where you could win a winter care package for you and your car. Hopefully your car looks a little bit better than this one. Today's episode has been made possible by Adrian Flux Insurance, who have been taking care of this channel since very early days. This whole episode wouldn't have been possible without them. And right now they're offering you guys the opportunity to win an exciting selection of car accessories, including a tailored outdoor car cover specific for your car, a tyre inflator, a trickle charger, and what I think is very cool, a die-cast model of your exact car, an exclusive limited edition hoodie, and a range of other car accessories. And to top this all off, you can enter this competition completely for free via the link in the description, and the winner will be announced on December 10th. And I really am grateful for Adrian Flux. Long before this YouTube stuff, they took care of me and they made this interest in classic cars, weird cars possible. As a young driver, they took care of me, got me the coverage I needed, and allowed me to continue to pursue this bizarreness. So if you need insurance on any of your vehicles, whether it's a kit car, a classic car, an import, a modified vehicle, or even just your daily driver, Adrian Flux are the experts in all sorts of vehicles, so do get in touch with them. And please remember to click the link in the description to enter their winter car accessory giveaway, totally for free. And yeah, a huge thank you to Adrian Flux. They have actually made this episode possible, this French adventure, this crazy wildcat. And also, I don't want to give anything away, but their insurance policies come with very good breakdown cover, which might be needed in a few minutes' time, but you'll have to wait and see. Okay, so let's have a quick recap. After many, many years, the car runs. I wasn't really expecting it. I wasn't prepared for it to start at all, because basically all we did was check the fluids, establish it had an LPG system, put some current to the battery, and it came to life. That was it. And I don't know if you noticed on camera, but after we revved it and sort of allowed it to get up temperature a little bit, the engine really leveled out and it sounded really sweet. I'm still a little bit shocked at all of this, because this never really happens. A rooster just cocked. What do roosters do? Crow. Cocked. But what now? Well, we've gone over the whole car. We've checked sort of general functionality. The brake lights work, the headlights sort of work, the brakes work, other bits somewhat work. Now all we need to do is drive it several hundred miles home. But there is one key thing standing in our way. We need to find an LPG station. If the meter is right on the back, it's got about 20% left of fuel, and it's got this tiny fuel tank which really doesn't do anything or contribute. So we basically just need to get this to the LPG station as soon as possible. So we need to look one up and just hope we don't break down on the way. But everything's going well so far.
Little did I know I was predicting the future. But first, it was time to try some of the local cuisine.
That was bigger than I thought. That's what she said. Shh, come on, here's another. It's got a bit of a warmth to it.
Just caress it.
Hey! Whoa! Look at us. Just two Frenchmen in France.
Just act natural.
Bonjour.
After fueling our bodies, it was time to do some final checks and then hit the road. And even with the success so far, that was still a very daunting idea. Yes, this runs, but how well will it run after a few miles? Cock.
Stalled it.
Yeah, you should be. Bonjour.
Still dressed in dust, we are ready. So, here we go.
On the maiden voyage, and it feels rather scary, but we're making do. Something like that. Should this be allowed? I don't know. I'll check back in when it's safer.
Meanwhile, in the hire car,
Steering is so heavy. We've set off in the car. We now need to go and get LPG. We will properly chat when I've got LPG, but this is really cool and also very scary. I pulled over the LPG place because I'm smelling burning, not a like firefighter burn, but like melting. So I'm gonna keep it running and look for it. So sort of smoke, just steam or something came off here.
So in the 2 miles or so between the house and the LPG station, the cabin started to fill with some smoke. It wasn't a vast amount, but it was still concerning. So where was it coming from?
Okay, so the car has been left to cool down. We then fired it up again. We were concerned it might be the LPG system, but it doesn't seem to be the LPG system. Isaac thinks it's some diff fluid, which has been sitting on the exhaust, which is possible. It could be so many things. This car has been sitting for so long, but I think what we're going to do is fill it up with some more petrol. There's not a very big tank, but just see if that makes any difference, then at least it will rule out the LPG. If it doesn't, then it might just be a case that all of this fluid needs to burn off the exhaust. But yeah, we shall find out. The tricky thing is we've only got an hour, 2 hours of sunlight left, and the lights on this are not very good. So we really need to get back to Rennes pretty damn quick. Oh, it's a temporary hold on it. Oh, that was quick. How much did that cost? €5.74. Maybe stop though. Yeah, you're at 19 litres. Stop it, yeah. Nice. I'm not doing it.
Why aren't you doing it?
Because you know what you're doing. Way!
So after some fresh juice, we are ready to go. Sort of. At this point it became clear that the car wouldn't run on its very small petrol supply at all, it just didn't fire whatsoever. So our only option to power this thing was gas. But on the bright side, it did seem like the smoke had cleared. Anyway, panic averted. Let's do this. The smoke had cleared and the car was flying. Things were looking good. But maybe I shouldn't speak so soon.
So YouTube, a little bit of an update. We're about 15 minutes from the fuel stop and I'm currently pulled over because this is what has happened.
The exhaust has fallen off.
That right there is Charlie and his exhaust is rather low.
So on the bright side, the car was running very well actually. You know, the smoke had cleared and it was really sort of pulling well. But unfortunately the exhaust wasn't exhausting, so to speak. And of all the things I packed to potentially repair the vehicle, I thought of just about everything. I forgot any metal zip ties, so we were having to coil up some old wiring to hold this exhaust on. Ideal.
Smile. He's happy to be on holiday.
I'm in a puddle.
He is actually in a puddle.
Look, I've got a little puddle.
Oh yeah.
With the exhaust repaired, we are ready to go.
That'll be fine.
Lovely evening. At least it could be. Hey! Right, onwards.
She was back, and she was running very well. But my confidence had been knocked just a little bit.
Taking it easy.
As the sun began to set on a beautiful French evening, the Wildcat was doing really, really well. The more I drove it, aside from the exhaust issue, the better and better it was becoming. We were almost at our destination. We were spending the night in Rennes, as that is where we needed to drop the hire car off. And amazingly, this was only about 42 miles from where we picked the car up, but it felt like a massive journey. But this also felt like a massive achievement. At the back of my mind though, I was trying to hide the fact that tomorrow we'd actually be driving it hundreds of miles.
We've made it into the parking garage. Except for now, I've just noticed something. The button thing is on the wrong side for me, or the right side for...
The Wildcat had made it to stop 1. But the journey had certainly taken its toll.
It is literally 2 beds. I sort of imagined 2 big double beds.
But they are very close together, so we can hold hands.
We can reach each other. Result.
What a day.
What a fucking day. Oh.
We were both feeling rather tired and delusional after a very early start and a particularly stressful first day of the adventure. But we decided to head out and get some lovely local cuisine and soak in some of the local culture. I think we should have stayed there. The Brest Hotel.
It's late.
Local cuisine.
Hello. It is day 2. It is about 7 in the morning, which is slightly more pleasant than 2 in the morning or whatever it was yesterday. It's time to go back down to the car, sort it out, get all the stuff from the rental car organised and into the Wildcat, drop off the rental car and drive back to England. We've got so much stuff in the rental car and the Wildcat is already pretty full, so I'm not sure how we're going to manoeuvre all of this. But we'll find a way. Do you think the car will still be there?
Yes. No one in their right mind would steal it.
Well, they might, but they wouldn't be able to get very far.
Exactly.
Oh, I can see her poking out. The old girl. There she is. Whee! Oh, God damn it, it's still here.
Okay, so as mentioned, the task was simple-ish. Get everything from our rather large hire car into the rather small Wildcat, which is already full of spare parts. And of course, everything else we needed to get in included our suitcases and spare wheels and all of sorts of extra stuff that we couldn't get in the Wildcat in the first place. And obviously, an extra person. Luckily, many years of playing Jenga had paid off and we got everything in. So we decided to give the car one quick check before we set off to drop off the rental car. With everything looking good, it was time to hit the road.
Okay, so everything is going well so far in the first mile, but the car definitely doesn't like being cold. It's a bit poppy and spluttery and the idle is low. I think also that the timing is just not quite right. So that's something we need to fix ASAP. But we just want to get out of the city now, drop the hire car off and be on our way. So, gotta go.
But other than that, everything was going fine. Now, we needed to get to Calais by the last ferry. But this wasn't until gone 10 o'clock, and as you can tell, it's only about 7:30 in the morning, so we had plenty of time. As long as nothing too bad happened, we should be fine.
Okay, so we have managed to get the car from the hotel to Rennes Airport, which is where we are meant to drop off the hire car. The trouble is, there is nobody at the hire car desk, and when we called Nantes, which is where we picked up the rental car from, they said you've got to talk to someone at Rennes, and then we managed to get through to someone at Rennes on the phone. They said you need to talk to Nantes. So here we are at Rennes Airport with a hire car we cannot drop off, and we are raring to go to get to the ferry. So we're a bit stumped, really. We just need to try and get rid of our bloody, what is it? A Yaris Cross something, a Toyota. So that is where we're at. This was a bit finicky this morning. It hates being cold and going slow. It might have, I didn't get it on camera, but it might have stopped at a junction and loads of people were, using their horns, as I'd seen for many years in French films or depictions of French films. I'm not sophisticated enough to watch French films, more American films where they go to France and they use their horns a lot. Anyway, it was rather stressful. But we're here now. We just need to get over this last hurdle, I hope, and then we need to fucking drive to Calais. We need to drive to Calais and go home and go to bed. Yeah.
We're at the desk, the rent escape desk, and no one is here.
Well, that's a load of bullshit.
So, basically we just dropped the car off with, someone finally turned up to
rent space or whatever. They said, we can't tell you how much it's going to cost to drop the car off, even though yesterday they said it would only cost 70 euros. He said a minimum of 170 euros, a maximum of 500 euros, and that he's too busy to give us any more information. So here's our car, which we got here at 8 o'clock this morning, roughly, but Rennes escape. Now it's what, gone 10? So if anybody,
10.
so if anybody says we didn't, well, it's all on video.
But with that hassle behind us, it was time to hit the road yet again. Now, that 2 hours had cost us a little bit. We had hoped to get to the ferry a little bit earlier, but we still had a good 12 hours until the last ferry, so we had plenty of time. And by now we'd built a little bit more confidence in the car, and with nothing but open road ahead of us, it was time to race for the border. One hour in and the car was performing flawlessly. We were making great time and enjoying the ride. But then things took a turn.
There's been an incident. I couldn't film it, but we've run out of gas. Oh, he's got it running. Bloody hell, how's he done that? How did he do that? Gas. Yeah. Trying to start it on fuel to see if we can just nurse it literally less than a minute up the road, but it's never worked on fuel. In the time we've had it for a day, it does not like fuel. Of all the things to happen, it ran out of fuel. It didn't break, it just ran out of fuel. But we put loads in, so obviously the gauge isn't accurate, but oh well, we'll figure it out. We're just trying to nurse it literally just to the gas station, but there's so little left.
Pull it there?
Too steep, yeah. It's not doing it at all.
We tried desperately to get the car to work on its little fuel tank. We had fresh fuel in there, but it wasn't working, and we were completely out of LPG. We tried our best, but nothing was working. The car was completely kaput.
Come to France, they said. It'll be fun.
LPG, they said.
So I gave my friends at Adrian Flux a call because after a great start, unfortunately, we needed rescuing.
Hello YouTube, little update for you. We're now being picked up with a tow truck to drive us hopefully about 1 minute down the road so we can go get some more fuel. We have petrol, but we have no LPG.
Which is what we need. We need the G.
Because the petrol is not working, we don't know why. Behind that smile is so much pain.
I think we could be so lucky to get all the way home in something as nice as this.
It's very comfortable.
This is much nicer than the Wildcat, I have to say.
Yeah.
There's me. There's the car. You don't know where you're going?
We don't know where we're going,
Because we don't speak French.
but we're moving again.
We are moving. That's not.
Well, it is.
Well, it is technically, yeah.
Technically moving all the time, so that's
That was really deep.
about the way.
So we got recovered from the side of the road and we asked them to take us to the GPL or PSG, no, that's a football team, but they took us here, and then it's taken quite an ordeal to negotiate taking us to the fuel we need, and also 280 euros. So now, in theory, we are going to fill up the car, and in theory it'll work, and in theory we can drive to fucking Calais. Anyway, we shall see.
Electric.
One of our exhausts has gone. I lied, they got their place wrong where they thought the LPG was. So a further 86 euros later, now maybe we will be able to fill the car up and get the bloody thing home. Right, yeah, let's do it.
But it didn't matter. We are back on the move, and hopefully in a few minutes we'd have LPG in the tank again, and then fingers crossed it would just fire up and we would be zooming once more. But this whole ordeal has cost us a lot of time. Just over 3 hours in fact. It was now mid-afternoon and we still had over 4 hours before we got to Calais. So things were getting really tight.
I really, really do hope this solves the problem, or we're a little bit fucked.
Pull the handle up. And there go. That's it, okay.
We were full of LPG, and now the moment of truth was here. Would she just fire up and take us home? What a relief. She is alive. Onwards we go. But our excitement would be short-lived. Even though we were now on the move, time was getting tighter and tighter, and we really didn't want to stay another night. We had to be back by the morning. We still had 3.5 hours to Calais, and the final ferry, well, it was in just under 4 hours. So we had no room for error. And now, this really is a race to the border.
Most of the headliner on Isaac's head now. It's a good look. Let's see how much GPL we actually have left. GPL.
LPG.
LPG. It's GPL here. How many miles have we been? About 200?
Yeah.
Oh, a good old tank. That's what, so we've gone literally, we got up to about 80, so we've done 20. So 100 miles a point. Yeah.
Let's fill her up again. Fill her up, please.
Under 100 miles to go.
Go. Should be our last stop.
Even though we put a good amount of LPG on our last stop, it did limit how much we could put in, and we also had no idea how much we were burning. And when we realised there was only one more LPG fill-up station before Calais, we decided to take it and use up a few precious minutes to hopefully avoid completely messing up the day.
Things are going well. but I feel really, really bloody tired. You suddenly do realise when things break down that maybe it would have been cheaper just to get a trailer. But that would be no fun, would it? That wouldn't be a video. Whee!
We had 1 hour to go, and just 1 hour 20 minutes until the final ferry left. But we were flying. And with minutes to spare, we were entering the port of Calais. We had made it.
We've made it to the ferry.
Passport control.
We're at passport control, so we haven't actually made it to the ferry. We might be told we're not allowed back home.
And we might break down in between here and the ferry.
Which is not very far, but it's likely. Going through this big thingy. Wow. We made it.
We're at the ferry.
Wow, we have made it to the ferry. Isaac took the pretty brave decision and has turned the car off. So whether it turns back on again, we shall find out.
It's downhill onto the boat, isn't it?
Yeah, wow. We made it. Well, sort of. We've done France. That was the scariest bit.
Yeah.
What day it has been. What
Now-
2 days it has been.
Now we can properly tell the recovery driver what's gone wrong.
Exactly.
And he'll understand us.
Exactly. LPG, no. Anyway, let's get onto this boat. Thank fuck they didn't find all the cocaine.
Oh, Charlie, don't say sorry.
It's lucky, isn't it? Thank you. Good evening.
Our next breakdown will officially be in the UK. I can't believe it.
I know, what a result. Let's do this.
After all the adrenaline of getting to the border, we were finally back in the UK. But we still had another 2.5, 3 hours of driving.
She's back in England. Welcome home.
But it's safe to say spirits were high. The hardest part, hopefully, was behind us. Now it wasn't a race to the border, it was a race to the countryside.
Almost there.
5 minutes remaining.
5 minutes.
4 minutes remaining now.
Way, 4 minutes away. So it made it.
Yeah.
What time is it?
2:03.
So it's not far off the
Morning.
time we left 2 days ago.
Pretty much, yes.
So in 48 hours, we've gone to France, got this, got it home.
And come
Well,
back.
I'm not quite home yet, but
I am.
oh, that is bright. I'm really sorry. Well, job well done. You can't see me or probably hear me, but just a 10-minute drive home and then we're home. Gosh, this has been a journey. made it. Jesus. And the car made it home, 2:41 in the morning. So we've been on the road for, I don't know, we left at 7 a.m. French time. So 6 a.m. UK time. It's been a long day, but the car has made it. I'm very tired, but I'll have more to say in the morning when I've had some sleep. But this is awesome. Okay, so what an adventure that was. Believe it or not, that was about a month or 6 weeks ago. I got straight back after that 36-hour adventure and went straight back into Nova World, which lots of excitement coming probably next week for you guys now. But yeah, every time I walk into the shed and see this thing, I can't quite believe it's real or the adventure happened. It seems like this bizarre fever dream, but I have to say, this is a wonderful machine. It sat dormant for many, many years, fired up, and took us several hundred miles across the country, and it didn't really miss a beat. Of course, we ran out of fuel and that was our fault, but the car, nothing. I mean, everything needs looking at, don't get me wrong. We need to get some tyres that fit a little bit better because there was lots of rubbing. The interior is a bit of a letdown when you compare it to the beautiful exterior and all sorts of little bits and bobs, but it made it and it was fantastic. It's not like we were being careful. We cruised it, we were sitting at 70 for most of the way, and yeah, what a machine. As you might be able to tell, I've given it a light wash and the red is fantastic. It was resprayed shortly before it was taken off the road and it really shows. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to keep just giving this car compliments because that's all I can really do. Unlike the rest of the cars I have, it works and looks great. And with that, I suppose it brings up what is next with this build, because it's not rusty and buggered, which is, again, sort of new territory. Well, like I mentioned, lots of small things. We need new tyres, it needs a proper service. Even though everything is good, it still has been sitting and needs a proper going over. And around the car, there's all sorts of little touch-ups that I think need doing. But outside of the maintenance stuff, of course, a major thing is the interior. The exterior of the car is stunning. It's a low drag style car, which is incredibly unique. Interestingly, Eagle have just released a low drag car, and that's given me a lot of inspiration for this build because they're almost identical. So I'd love to create a very stripped back but elegant racing style interior for this, and overall just lean more and more into the low drag. It's got the V12 exhaust on it, but I think some very nice straight pipes coming out the back would look excellent, and sort of just lots of little nods to the original low drag racing car. In terms of sort of mechanical upgrades, we are in an interesting position because the suspension is obviously sort of far superior to original E-Type suspension. And in terms of the engine, we have something that is very reliable, clearly. A lot less elegant than the rest of the car and the sort of ethos of the car, but very modifiable, I believe. I need to look more into it, so that's a big question. I'm tempted to say we modify the engine rather than replace it. It seems sort of a shame to mess with something that doesn't really need messing with. It's already sort of proven itself to be fantastic and very capable, so sort of leaning into this engine I think would be a sensible idea. But of course I'd love to know all of your opinions on everything, on what you think of the car. But a very interesting, peculiar thing being a replica low drag, though basically all low drags are replicas, but this is obviously a slightly unique story and really the first of its kind. We have a lot more Jaguar resto mods these days, but yeah, this came along many decades ago. So do let me know what you guys think I should do with this build. I'm very pro the low drag idea. It is a low drag car, so let's just run with it, I think, but I'm sure you guys will have lots of brilliant ideas as well. For any of you who are concerned, don't worry, the Nova is not going anywhere. We posted about it last week. It's coming back next week, and hopefully we might have a little bit of combustion on that thing. Fingers crossed, we shall see. And then once we've sort of made a bit more of a plan for this machine, you'll start seeing those episodes in and around the Nova build as and when. Obviously this demands for a lot less, so it's not going to be quite as intense as, you know, replacing floors and all of that fun rust stuff. But anyway, a huge amount to look forward to. If you enjoyed this episode, please do consider liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all that sort of thing, hitting the hype button. That's another one. It really does help me out, allows me to keep making videos on these peculiar, forgotten cars that I do rather enjoy, and I think a lot of you guys do as well. If you'd like to support the channel further, I've linked my Patreon down below. Over on the Patreon, I have sort of behind the scenes, early access content. The patrons got to see this about 6 weeks ago and have seen all the little updates as I've gone along with this car, as well as lots of secret Nova content and all that fun. So it's a great place to get the behind the scenes scoop if you want it. Another great way to support the channel is merchandise. Again, linked down below. Any money made goes into silly cars like this.
this. But regardless, I'm just so grateful that you are here watching. Final thing I want to say, if you enjoyed this adventure style content, do let me know in the comments. I've unlocked the international reach on Facebook Marketplace, which is an incredibly dangerous thing, but there is lots of interesting cars all over the place. And if you like this format of going to another country, getting something running, driving it home, fixing it up, and then having all sorts of fun in the future with it, do let me know. But anyway, with all that madness, thank you for watching, and until next week, take care, and I will see you then.